You know that car sitting in your driveway? You probably think you know where it's from. But I guarantee you, its real story is way more complicated than you imagine. See, over the last few decades, the world of car manufacturing has been completely turned on its head. Yeah, the old giants are still around, but the whole map has been redrawn by powerful new players who are changing all the rules.
Seriously, think about it. Your car is a total globetrotter. It's not really just an American car or a Japanese car anymore. It's more like a citizen of the world. The engine might be German, the microchips could be from Taiwan, and the leather on the seats might have come from Brazil. All of it shipped to Mexico for final assembly. That's just how the modern global assembly line works.
And if you want to see just how dramatic this shift has been, just look at this chart. Back in 1997, China was making, less than 2 million vehicles a year. Now, fast forward to 2022, and that number just explodes to over 27 million. That isn't just growth. It's a complete reshaping of the entire industry, dwarfing the traditional powerhouses. So the big question is, how on earth did that happen?
Well, the answer is that the entire rulebook for manufacturing got a complete rewrite. And the auto industry, it's the poster child for this new world order. So let's break down how this global car factory actually works today.
Okay, at the very heart of this whole system is a concept called the global value chain, or GVC. The easiest way to think about it is like a single, massive assembly line that stretches across the entire planet. A car isn't built in one place anymore. Instead, its creation is sliced up into dozens of very specific jobs, and each one of those jobs gets sent to whatever country can do it best, or fastest, or, very often, cheapest.
But this system has some really profound consequences. For developing nations, it completely changes the game. Because that production chain is so broken up, it's incredibly difficult for one country to build its own complete auto industry from scratch. And here's the really crucial part. Just because a country's factories are busy and they're shipping out a lot of parts, that doesn't automatically mean higher wages for the workers. That old promise, that industrialization will make everyone prosperous, is kind of broke.
So in this new globalized world, how does a country actually get ahead? Well, the research shows there are really two main strategies that work. Let's look at the first one, the fortress strategy.
This is the path that countries like China and India have taken. The logic is actually pretty simple. If you have a huge population that's hungry to buy cars, you have incredible leverage. You can basically go to the world's biggest car makers and say, look, you want to sell cars to our hundreds of millions of people? Fine. But you have to build them here. And you have to share your technology and partner up with our local companies. It's a powerful bargaining chip. And this slide right here shows you the result of that fortress strategy. Over 30 million vehicles rolled off production lines in China just last year. Now, to put that in perspective, that is more than the United States, Japan, and Germany made combined. That's not just a big number. It's the kind of scale that turns your country from just another market into the market that every global automaker absolutely has to be in.
But okay, what if you don't have a billion potential car buyers living in your country? Well, that brings us to the second path. If you can't build a fortress, you become the world's workshop, or at least the main workshop for your entire region.
This is the strategy you see in places like Mexico, Morocco, or parts of Eastern Europe. They don't have that giant domestic market to use as leverage. So what do they do instead? They specialize. They become these hyper-efficient, low-cost manufacturing hubs that plug themselves directly and deeply into the supply chain of a major economic bloc like North America or the European Union.
And this table is the perfect example of what I mean. A wire harness is a super complex, labor-intensive web of wires that goes into every single car. Now, just look at Mexico. In 2019, a whopping 99% of its wire harness exports went straight to one place, the USA. It's not serving the whole world. It has become a highly specialized workshop for its powerful neighbor. And you see the exact same pattern with Romania and Germany, or Morocco and Spain.
So, whether you build a fortress or a workshop, you've done it. You've successfully plugged into the global auto industry. But here's the thing, just getting a seat at the table is actually the easy part. The real and much harder challenge is figuring out how to turn that seat into real, lasting prosperity for your country.
And this, right here, is probably the most important takeaway. Simply being the place that assembles parts, doing the low-skilled, repetitive work, is not a ticket to national wealth. The real goal for every single country on this new global map is to upgrade. And that means climbing a ladder, from the bottom rungs of simple assembly all the way up to the high-value top rungs, engineering, design, and innovation.
Now, this upgrading happens in a few stages. First, there's process upgrading. That's just getting better and more efficient at the job you're already doing. Then comes product upgrading, which means making more complex stuff, like going from making simple hubcaps to building high-tech engines. The really big leap is functional upgrading. That's when you start taking on the high-value tasks like research and development or marketing. And the final step? Taking all those skills you've learned and applying them to totally new industries.
But there's a huge catch here, and this quote really nails it. A company or even an entire industry can upgrade and make more money by making more complex products, but that doesn't automatically mean life gets better for the workers on the factory floor. In fact, the intense global pressure to keep costs low often means that the economic progress for the company comes at the expense of social progress for its employees.
So this entire global system we've just laid out, the value chains, the fortresses, the workshops, it was all built on one core technology: the internal combustion engine. But right now, there is a technological earthquake shaking that very foundation, and it has the potential to change every single rule of the game, all over again.
You see, switching to electric vehicles isn't like just changing from diesel to gas. It's a total, fundamental reinvention of what a car even is. Suddenly, the most valuable parts aren't the mechanical wonders of engines and transmissions. Now, it's all about batteries, electric motors, and the incredibly complex software that runs the whole show. This isn't just a new chapter for the industry. It feels more like a completely new book, with brand new winners and losers.
And that leaves us with the really big question, doesn't it? Will the current kings of the auto world manage to keep their crowns in this new electric era? Or is this revolution going to allow a whole new set of countries to rise up and redraw that global map once more? The race is on, and the next chapter for the global car factory is being written as we speak.